Welcome back to the channel, guys. My name is Gordon. We are back with another video. Today we're doing an updated price prediction for Sui. As always, if you enjoy the content, please make sure to smash that thumbs up button below, hit subscribe, hit that bell notification icon. Make sure to grab your completely free copy of The Rise of Bitcoin. It is linked in the description below this video. Grab that now and let's talk about Sui. Okay, so I am not here to sugarcoat it, guys. It has definitely been a rough couple of weeks for Sui's price action. Looking over here on the charts on TradingView, we're sitting just back above the $2.02 mark. I was watching this critical level of support around $2.38 here over the past couple of weeks. That is an area that had previously held as pretty solid support going all the way back to June of this year when we originally broke back above it all the way after those April lows. Now, the next area I marked in here was this channel between $1.90 and $1.70 because this area has also served as pretty strong support, once again going back to those April lows, as well as all the way back here in November of 2024. And so interestingly, that is the area we wicked right down to and found support here on this Sui chart before getting that bounce back up. Zooming into the 4-hour, we can see that recovery beginning to happen. We may not be fully out of the woods just yet, but we are back above that $2 level of support. So Sui is down here in this area that it has not truly revisited since back in April, obviously canceling out or forgetting about that October 10th huge wick down. We haven't seen a slow bleed into this area until or since April of this year. Is Sui down and out? I do not think so just yet. I do think there's lots of potential. Sui is still one of my favorite layer one blockchain solutions, and there's so much stuff being built on Sui. I've done tons of videos on Sui over the past 2 years on the channel, guys. Make sure to go and check those out. Videos on CEDAS protocol, Navi lending and borrowing protocol, Sui Lend, Turbos, all the DEXs, all the lending borrowing protocols. There is videos for all those protocols on the channel, so go and check them out. And what impresses me most about Sui is the consistent grind up here of the TVL growth over the past couple of years. Looking on DeFi Llama, going all the way back to the beginning of 2024, we were sitting just at $200 million of total value locked on Sui's blockchain. Since January of 2024, we have seen that steadily rise here up and to the right. We're currently sitting at over 1.53 billion. We even peaked as high as 2.6 billion here in the past few weeks before that pullback here in October. And even at where we're at right now, 1.53 billion, that is a 7 to 8x in growth of TVL on this network in the past 20 to 24 months. So that is impressive. And obviously getting up to 2.6 billion is more than a 10x in growth from those 2024 highs or the 2024 lows at the beginning of January. And so the consistent growth up and to the right here is what keeps impressing me about everything happening in the Sui ecosystem. Okay, taking a look over a chain compare, I have removed Ethereum and Solana from this comparison, obviously just because they do so much more volume compared to other networks. But when you look at the growth happening on Sui from a chain transaction standpoint, it's been very, very consistent over the past year. This is data from the beginning of January 2025. Again, stablecoin supply growth has gone from somewhere around 240 million in January to well over $780 million here on Sui at this moment in time. So you're seeing growth of, 3, 4, 5x in terms of the amount of stablecoin supply on the Sui network natively. Stablecoin transfer volume also way up since the beginning of the year. You're looking at somewhere, around that kind of 2 billion area at the beginning of the year. Now we're having days consistently seeing stablecoin transfer volume on Sui being in excess of 4, 5, 6, even 12 to 14 billion here on certain days with very, very large stablecoin volume transfer. Again, total value locked has continued to move up and to the right. That is an exciting number to keep track of. DEX volumes are consistently on the rise here, particularly in the past few months. Going back to earlier in the year, this Q1 period, you were looking at $150 to $250 million in daily DEX volume. Now you're looking at consistently having days that are around, 400 to 600 million, even certain days getting up to 800 million and peaking up as high as 1 billion and even 1.5 billion on certain days for Sui DEX volume. So the numbers and the on-chain analysis help me to paint the picture of what's actually happening under the hood in terms of adoption. Obviously, we know the team, the people coming from Meta and Facebook, and a lot of the stuff that they've done is phenomenal. But all that matters really is how much usability is the blockchain getting? Are Sui able to sell block space at a very cost effective manner? And ultimately, the answer is yes. And some of the stats back that up. Would I like to see more growth happening here? Of course. But given the market conditions, I do think it's impressive to see the growth that's happened with Sui in terms of those DEX volumes, in terms of stablecoin growth, in terms of total value locked continuing to increase. And all of that plays into the decision that I make to have exposure to this asset, and obviously then thinking about price predictions from there. There's one other key chart I want to take a look at here in the Sui world to understand how dominance plays a role in how Sui is going to actually gain more market share over the coming months. You can see recently we did break below this uptrend in terms of Sui dominance. Considering last year, we were all the way down here. This is just last summer, June of 2024. We were down at this 0.09 to 0.1% area in terms of Sui dominance. What does that mean? Well, it basically just means that Sui's market cap was only making up 0.1% of the entire crypto market cap. We saw that rise rapidly throughout the course of 2024, right until the end of the year there, into January, when we saw Sui's dominance peak right around that 0.5% area. We did a 5x in dominance growth, and then we moved into a consolidation period. And obviously, in the last few weeks, we have broken below that uptrend and also broken back below the 200-day simple moving average. Now, I'm watching this chart because, again, there is another key level of support around this area at that 0.21% level. You're seeing us getting some support here at the moment. Hopefully, we get a little bit of a bounce here. That support goes all the way back to October of 2024, pretty much just over a year ago. And so I'm hoping we can see a bounce here with Sui dominance finding support, which will help it consolidate and then slowly begin moving back to the upside. But just remember these numbers, because already Sui has been up to a 0.5% dominance in the crypto market. And when you think about the crypto market going from, somewhere around this area of 3.45 trillion where we're at today to potentially 5 trillion, 6 trillion, 9 trillion over the coming months and years, I think Sui does have a place as a high throughput, high quality layer one blockchain. Okay, the reason I'm bringing up dominance is because that is one of the variables that is included in our price prediction. So without further ado, let's jump straight over to those price targets. Okay, as always, there is certain variables. Dominance is one of those variables, like I mentioned. Total crypto market cap is another variable, along with the amount of Sui that's in circulation, which is continuing to increase ever so slightly month over month with monthly unlocks, as many of you know. So in my bear case, what I'm thinking is total crypto market cap, if that peaks somewhere around this $5 trillion level, and if Sui can get up to 0.75% dominance, which is not all that difficult considering we've been to 0.5% before, that's going to give Sui a $45 billion market cap at the peak. Dividing it by about 3.7 billion tokens in circulation brings you out to a $10.13 price target for Sui by the peak of the cycle in my bear case scenario. Okay, next up, we've got the base case scenario. I think total crypto market cap, my base case peak, is somewhere around 7 trillion US dollars. If Sui can get all the way up to 0.9%, which again is definitely higher than we've ever been, but not a huge far cry from the 0.5% area we've already visited, that's going to get us to a $63 billion market cap for Sui. Dividing it by 3.7 billion, that number should be 7. I ran the calculation based on 3.7, gets you to a $17 price per Sui token by the peak of the cycle if we get somewhere in that region of a $7 trillion total crypto market cap. Okay, I hope these numbers are making sense, guys. Let me know in the comments below what price you think Sui can peak at by the time we get to the top of the bull cycle. And in my most bullish case scenario, what I'm thinking is if total crypto market cap can get somewhere in the region of 9 trillion US dollars, yes, that would be almost tripling the current market cap at 3.4 trillion. But And if Sui can get to a 1.1% dominance level, that gets us to a $99 billion market cap for Sui. Dividing it again by 3.7 billion, which is what I did, is getting you to a $26.75 price target for Sui in my most bullish case scenario. That is what I'm thinking. Is that on the higher end of things? Yes, absolutely, that is high, especially when you think about the Sui price currently being in that region of $2.03. It's difficult to think about us going all the way to $26, but I'm talking about total crypto market cap getting up to $9 trillion and Sui getting up to 1.1% dominance at the peak. They are the numbers that we could see play out. Like I said, drop me a comment below this video, guys, with your price targets for Sui. That is it for today's video, guys. As always, if you enjoyed the content, please make sure to smash that thumbs up button below. Let's do it right now. Under my finger, just take 3 seconds, smash that thumbs up button, hit subscribe, hit the bell notification icon, grab your free gift in the description. The Rise of Bitcoin is waiting for you. Grab it now, and we'll catch you in the next one.